I would call a comics community really homey, friendly and nice.
Czech comics is bustling with energy. Czech comics is really right now in great shape. I think it's somehow divided into two main branches. Some people tend to read more translated stuff, and some people are interested in contemporary Czech comics as well. I think it's really lively. There's a lot of festivals, a lot of exhibitions, a lot of this type of events going on, and I think that this huge field of comic events, comics exhibition, comic festivals is what keeps the medium fresh and thriving.
The scene was completely different because during the communist regime, comics was considered as something from a capitalist world and something which was almost forbidden. Not completely, but almost, and it was considered to be a low art, something which might be good for stupid people or for young kids.
During the normalization era of 1970s and 1980s, there were no official comics publications, with exception of For Leaf Clover, which was this kids magazine. It's a funny animals type of comics. It narrates a story about 4 anthropomorphized animals who live together and enjoy various adventures together.
Nemůžeme nikam.
Jak to? A proč?
After the Velvet Revolution, there was this huge boom of comics, this explosion of new magazines and new artists, but these tended to be still aimed more towards young people or to children, and it took another generation to come up with more mature idea of the medium. Lucie Lomová is really a huge persona in the history of Czech comics and in contemporary Czech comics as well. She started doing kids comics in the late 1980s, but after 2000, around 2003 or 2004, she shifted her interest towards the comics for adult audience. Recently, she's been really, I think, perceived as one of these leading figures of new Czech comics.
My name is Lucie Lomová, and I'm a Czech comic author born in Prague, and I live in Prague. The first comics I made was Anča and Pepík series, which was published in the 90s for children. And after 10 years, I was quite exhausted, and I just started to realize that I could do something for adult readers. And that was at the beginning of the millennium. But at that time, there was no comics for adult readers. This comic world, which has made a big progress in the last decades, and there are new generations of young creators who are fascinated by this medium, which is not so exhausted here.
I'm Tereza Čechová, and I'm author of the comic book Bez vlasu, at least the scenario. You would translate it as Hairless, and it's a story of me and alopecia and our relationship, I would call it. And it combines quite a lot of topics, alopecia, of course, so autoimmune disease, but also gender, work-life balance, trust in doctors and medicine. You could call it a graphic medicine. It's a genre of comic books.
Something that's really huge change in these recent years, I think it's an emergence of women artists. There didn't used to be that many women artists, and fortunately with the younger generation, this generation that's publishing their first books right now, this seems to take a totally different spin, and there seems to be abundance of great women artists active in Czech comics right now.
It was our goal from the beginning to tell the story internationally, because every time when I'm in different country, I see the same looks, I would say. And usually the people are really behaving like, oh, poor thing, she's probably having a cancer treatment and everything. And it's not like that. Like, I'm not ill, I'm happy, I like myself, I like the way I look. Comic books and comics is, I would say, perfect for sharing a story like this, because you can use visual metaphors, you can use comparisons and so on. It's really just perfect to show emotions and a feeling.
Hi, my name is Adam Trachtman. I'm originally from the States, but I'm here in Prague now 30 years. So I first started working on this book over 15 years ago, and I was doing it by hand. And it really was taking a long time because each page was taking 4 or 5 days. It was just a constant struggle to find the time to do it. And that kind of gave me the idea to work with a AI generation. So not generative AI, but rather a neural style transfer where I could take my original reference photographs, render them in different ways, and then composite them into the design of each page. Now that a younger generation has grown up with the desire to embrace this format, I think that Czechs are embracing it as they do with everything else in the world. I think that we see a lot more original Czech comic art now coming out, and it's only going to keep on growing.
I think that right now the publishing houses are less afraid of publishing comic books because they can see that it's a great medium.
I think Czech comics is on the right path. Comics is becoming, in Czech context, a quite active and fresh medium that can be employed to various needs. So hopefully this will continue, and I'm looking forward to new Czech comic books, new Czech comic magazines, and new Czech comic artists.